Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Businesses are realizing the importance of preparing their workforce for the digital age more than ever before, as the pandemic has forced more organizations to recalibrate their strategies in a digital perspective. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the MFIC 2021. My name is Jihan Prasad.
And my name is Hui Mei. We from InfoConnect want to help you drive innovation in the new normal. Through this event, we hope to spark your interest in building resiliency among your workforce using existing and emerging technologies, tools, and techniques from InfoConnect.
Before moving on, just a little bit about our company. InfoConnect has come a long way since our humble beginning in 1994. Over the years, the company has been devoted towards developing solutions in information and content management. The goal of this company is to provide integrated solutions to help companies react, execute, and anticipate ahead of its competition.
Today and tomorrow, we'll have some excellent representatives to talk about their respective topics. Just some simple ground rules before we start. First, we hope you denote full attention when our speakers are presenting to get the most out of each session. Second, we will allocate some time for a Q&A before the end of each topic. So whenever you have a question to ask, just feel free to type them out in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and our speakers will make sure to address them. Now, let's introduce the person responsible for all the feats of this company, the CEO of InfoConnect, Mr. Lim Tong Ping, with his take on the 2021 market outlook and digital transformation needs.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lim Tong Ping. I would like to share with you a few things today is on the outlook for this year, the focus area InfoConnect Group would like to share with you, and also what are the various solutions that we have refreshed for year 2021 in order to work closer with our customer, our partners to progress better. Yeah. This morning, on the way, this morning when the newspaper man arrived with the newspaper, I see the headline on the Star. I say, what does he say? He say, Health Ministry Director General say hope blooms. We will not we may not extend the MCO beyond 4th February, in order, because we must balance life and livelihood. I think this is good news. Hopefully, people like this, our Director General of Health, of course, he has access to a lot of good, useful, up-to-date information. He shares some light for us. So from the business community, the working class people, I think this is good news. Okay? So I remember in December when I see some economic report, we are talking about Malaysia say the government say the trade, our trade has rebound in Q4 2020, and then expect global trade recovery coming. Unfortunately, come early January, we see a lot of COVID cases, so a little bit of setback. But we must have hope, you know. If without hope, we cannot move forward. Every day we wake up, we must have a hope that we have a good day today, right? So the same thing. So for 2021, we hope for economic recovery, so people have more confidence in the spending, you know, in the spending. Okay. Next page. So that everybody, all the businesses, the operation can go on smoothly, and then we have more revenue to spend, and everybody's livelihood will be much better. Okay? And like what we have faced since last year, when we first started the MCO, everybody first time in their life they have to work from home, not for 1 day or 2 days, but for entire year. This is a really new experience that nobody has ever, not many people has experienced before. So there is a shift towards a remote office. So with that, there's a lot of digitalization need to be done. I remember people first time when MCO started, people say, "Hey, how to work from home? We don't have a computer at home also. Then how to access? Don't have a VPN line." So this digitalization definitely going to what do you call it, speed up. And then we talk about privacy of data. We talk about cloud to access from home. Not everybody have the luxury of accessing to VPN. So this cloud infrastructure become very useful for us to access to information anytime, 24 hours. And then this data visualization dashboard will help us to make decisions faster. Then with this cloud, I expect a lot of company will be looking into more what do you call it, careful spending. They like to, more company will also look into pay per use basis. Of course, due to certain regulatory reason and whatever reason that they have, some people will still continue to purchase because they want to own it. They want the system to sit in their office. Okay, next. Okay. Next. Okay. So today I want to focus on three main areas. One is borderless operation. Of course, borderless operation is here to stay. I remember I have some friends who work in what do you call that, in Bangkok, but actually the whole year is in Malaysia because cannot go back. All the borders are closed. So this borderless operation is very important now. With this digitalization, of course, it speed up this borderless operation where people need to collaborate. People need to share information. Information that is currently on paper need to be digitized so that it can be shared. And don't forget, we have a lot of files, digital files in our office, in our server, in our data storage. That is not shared because it's sitting in the office. But now your office is at home. So how to make this information, digital files to be shared? This is where cloud become very useful. So we need to have a cloud infrastructure. And I believe cloud infrastructure are one of the most secure, if not the most secure place, because I'm sure all these cloud data centers spend a lot of money on this cyber security software, devices, and so on. So, and these are to be shared. Not many companies can afford that unless it's a very big corporation. They can invest into millions. So this cloud infrastructure provides the agility, the mobility, as well as the security. So next one is we want to talk about is this operational resiliency. So how do we stay resilient in a recovering economy? This is very important. So there's a need for process automation and increased connectivity. So in order to do that, we need to have, again, we need this cloud platform and then also these microservices in order to support a lot of connectivity. And then the other thing is when we talk about augmenting decisions, we talk about data analytics. We talk about visualization and AI in order to allow us to make a better decision. Okay, so the next focus area is talking about user centricity. Okay, centricity, we talk about customer experience, employee experience. So with this digitalization, it helps to improve on this customer and employee experience. So information can be shared, is secured, and then with this big data, this data analytics, it helps us to make a more informed decision. Okay. So how does InfoConnect in 2021 going to serve the market? Okay. There are three focus areas, which just now I have already mentioned also, which is the cloud-ready platform. Next page. Cloud-ready platform, and just now we also talk about in terms of spending, careful spending. So a lot of companies will also look into subscription-based pricing, as well as to enable remote workplace, because this working from home will not go away in 2021, right? So in a few minutes, for the rest of today and then tomorrow, my colleagues will share with you the various digitalized solutions that we have, some new ones, some existing ones that we have refreshed in terms of technology. So covering this collaboration solution, open API for better integration to various enterprise applications, process automation using software robots, e-statement, e-report distribution, decision rules, in order that you can change business rules easy without going back to developers to take weeks to develop the program. And then, of course, our business and data analytics. And last, the other one is, of course, whatever application, if your data cannot be trusted, your application is of no use. So we talk about, we also want to focus a lot on this data management and governance issue. Okay. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the session. And any question raised, please raise it through this digital platform or some other time, and you want to access to our sales and sales personnel. So have a good day. Take care.
Thank you to Mr. Lim for your eloquent opening. As we observe the trends and norms in today's innovation, one thing proves very apparent to us, that more and more companies are implementing a work from home initiative, as most of you already know. Therefore, our first speaker, Joyce Lin, the business consultant here at InfoConnect, will be talking about how you can build a resilient remote workforce with Docuflo ECM solution. Without further ado, let us welcome Joyce Lin.
Hi, thank you, Jihan, for introduction. So just let me share my screen here, then we can start the section. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen and can hear me loud and clear. Jihan, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, good morning, everyone. First of all, I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. During my presentation, if you have any question, please post them in the chat box and we will address them at the end of the section. All right, so let's get started. Year 2021 started off with such big challenges to every one of us. The COVID-19 outbreak have impacted business worldwide. Many countries have enforced a complete lockdown for social distancing. Almost all are asked to work remotely or working from home. While efficiency and productivity have always been a priority to remote workers, companies have to figure out how to enable staff to bring the office work experience home with them. According to research, 62% of employees have challenges accessing, finding, and managing information when work remotely. This is because they don't have the right tools that result ad hoc work and accessing business document and information away from the office. Talking with our customer and researching the pain point of the remote worker, we have identified 4 areas where working remotely can be problematic when it comes to access information. First of all, there are no centralized repository available. Document is stored at everywhere, and some documents are stored in file cabinet, and some documents are kept at drawer, personal folder, email, and so on and so forth, which cause finding the right information is difficult and time-consuming, especially when work remotely. In March last year, the Malaysian government has imposed 14 days movement control order nationwide for the first time ever, and most of the people just pack up the laptop and start work remotely without any preparation. This is because it's difficult to bring back the whole file cabinet home, and no one is expecting extension, which bring huge impact to many business. Then is the matter of the document versioning. It's all too common for employees to spend unneeded time pouring over the email and through the file folder trying to find the latest and most relevant version of document they need, only to find that a colleague has amended a previous version. Sometimes they have to redo a document which already exists because they were unable to find it on their folder, which is obviously a familiar frustration and so will slow down their productivity. Then the third point is about the security and compliance risk. During this pandemic, employees are working outside of traditional filing practice, and documents may not be saved to central filing location, and in such case, information may not be recorded at all, so which is significant risk to litigation later arise. And some of the employees use their personal device to access and share company information when work remotely, because their company does not offer a suitable alternative, which control is lost, and company could be exposing themselves to unnecessary risk, as some of the document might contain sensitive information or information about the customer and project. Finally, some of the respondents reported that they don't have the ability to share or collaborate on the document during remote working. They experience challenges when it comes to reviewing and approving the document. So the key efficiency of working remotely actually is very simple. It should no matter where you are at work, at home or at office or any remotely location, the work experience should be exactly the same. All the challenges faced by the employee can be mitigated by a document management system. Let me now take a step back and share with you what is Docuflo and what it does. So Docuflo is a document management system of InfoConnect information content management solution. It is a platform which allows you to store, manage, and track all your business information, included document, picture, video, PowerPoint slide, and etc. in a central repository, so the employee can get the right information to the right person at the right time in the right method. So no matter where you are work, at home or at office or any remotely location. Nowadays, many people utilize more than one device for working. They need a simple and secure way to access documents from each of those devices without having to save a copy on each one. So therefore, the new version of Docuflo offers unified user experience regardless of the device or platform it is used on. So you can access the document from a mobile device anytime from anywhere. This allows you to take advantage of improved productivity and employee satisfaction with an agile solution that enables better mobile working opportunity. Docuflo organizes everything in one centralized repository with metadata based on what it is, so you never have to remember where it's saved or which version is the right one. So in that sense, we do not use folder, for example, file server, to store your document, whereby you need to rename it, then put them into the folder, because that process is wrought with challenges, since everyone probably works differently when naming or folder the document. For Docuflo, we organize all your document with metadata. For describe the information, or we might call it index or tagging. So the same document can be searched for or found using different criteria. Take an invoice, for example. The sales manager will need to see all the documents related to customer, regardless of what type of information is. It can search by using the customer name. So on the other hand, the finance department need to find all the invoices in this month. Then they can search by select the invoice document type and date. And we understand that a lot of business documents come in paper format. Docuflo help you digitize your office by scan your paper document into an electronic format, so you can automatically capture the content from the scanned document via OCR. So with your content digitized, it can store and manage efficiently and use at anywhere. In terms of the information security, Docuflo help you to protect and control your business information while working remotely. All the data stored in Docuflo are encrypted at rest with AES 256 encryption. It also supports database encryption via Microsoft SQL Server. Docuflo provides a pattern approach to managing access control by specific document. It can set permission, assign role that give different level of access to different user or user group. And it also provides complete log of any activity performed in the system, which include who access to the document, edit the document, when he or she log into the system, and etc. So there's a complete visibility over information. Companies are better able to identify and address the information security vulnerability. And with this visibility, there's also the ability to easily provide evidence of compliance to information security standard. With Docuflo, information sharing and collaboration can be a lot easier. It allows authorized users to easily share the document to internal and external party. User can directly email the document from our Docuflo without need to download the document to local PC and attach it to your email. So, which is very time consuming. And the new version of Docuflo offer a document workflow for user to route their document for review and approve. User can configure their own workflow template in the system by defining who are the approver and the duration given. The approver will also receive the email notification when task is assigned over to them, which increase the visibility and control from document creation to approval. On top of that, Docuflo also control on document versioning to avoid duplicate document and rework by keep track of the latest version when multiple users are working on the same document. So with a system for document to check in and check out, every changes is automatically captured. So as documents are checked in, revision control automatically capture the latest changes and increment on the new file version. So all the previous versions are also retained in the system. User can view the status of the document and know if a system is currently being worked on or is available for further use. So it can increase the productivity if they could quickly find and access the most updated version of document before making decision. Last but not least, data is the core of the business and system. Business system often store the data in silo. So Docuflo provide integration with common enterprise system and the application, including SAP, Office 365, RPA, business process system, and more. So you need different solutions to work together in order to have end-to-end digitization and automation. All right, and here is one of the example use case for insurance industry. We understand that insurance is a highly complex business which involving multiple process to administer existing policy, price new business, renew policy, address customer inquiry, and process claim. So it is not surprise that COVID-19 situation pose a challenge for insurance to maintain their operation as normal way of working becomes really disrupt. Of course, though insurance with more advanced digital underwriting, claim, administrative process are in much stronger position than others. For example, with Docuflo, document can be shared quickly and accurately with remote collaborators such as adjuster, agent, or legal contact to facilitate efficiency claim settlement. Docuflo also facilitate operation support team can work at home for document-driven process such as process claim, renew policy, and more to help business flowing. Not only this, Docuflo also enable insurance company to integrate their insurance process document from multiple communication channel, so the insurance can quickly capture and process the application form, correspondence, and case file in a single platform, whether they arrive by post, email, web form, or any other delivery channel. Next is about the HR document management use case, which can apply to all industry. Docuflo manage, maintain, and track the employee and HR related information and document in a central repository, from recruiting and onboarding to performance appraisal and ongoing career development. HR has to ensure compliance and data security with the access permission granted to the right person. So due to the pandemic, HR manager will need to adjust their role to working remotely. For example, recruitment is now relying on the digital platform. With Docuflo, you can upload all the resume and supporting document in a central repository and route to the hiring manager. So it allows all the interviewer has access to the applicant document. So this provides visibility and control over the sensitive information. Another example is the finance document management. Business is handling large volume of finance document each month, such as invoice, purchase order, delivery notes, and more. So all these documents will be digitized and stored in Docuflo. So therefore, employee able to access the document and information away from the office. And Docuflo can easily integrate with third-party application via MPI to enhance the process. So for example, employee expenses claim is submitted via Docuflo. and workflow is triggered for approval and processed with additional information or action is required. Then the approval form will be with the supporting document will be stored in Docuflo for archive. Similarly to the legal document, they need to circulate around for review, approval, or signature. So without proper manage, it could risk ignoring the value of the agreement. So with Docuflo, we're able to provide notification of due date of agreement by custom services with expiry date as index. And for the agreement that have expired, it will automatically archive and granted to only to those who rightful permission and retained it according to regulation. Without this in mind, we can now go back to the challenges we described earlier and see how our Docuflo can help employees to work remotely. First of all, the organization required to digitize and store the document in a central repository so the user can access the up-to-date version of document from anywhere, no matter where you are work, at home or at office or any remotely location. So with a robust document management system, organization could potentially mitigate the unnecessary risk and safeguard the sensitive business information. And finally, Docuflo also bring collaboration capability to allow users easily share the document with internal and external party. You can route the document via workflow to ensure that employee adhere to the process, deadline, and regulation. To summarize my presentation today, when you manage your information correctly, a company can realize massive efficiency gain by enabling staff to work with critical information from anywhere, anytime or any device, which increase the resolution time that reduce the total processing time. It also reduce the rework and negative impact on performance that increase the employee productivity. Lastly, Docuflo also ensuring documents are retained and deleted based on the agreed schedule will reduce the compliance risk and the financial consequences of incorrect storing of document. All right, that's all for my presentation today. Thank you so much, and I hope you all had found this to be informative section. And let me now give the floor back to Jihan, and then we can take your question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce, for showing us the applications of our Docuflow solution. Now we will be taking questions from the floor for anyone who has any questions, and these questions will be answered by our very own Mr. Yap Kim Seng, who is the Vice President in Business Development. So for any of the attendees, please type in your questions in the Q&A tab in the bottom of the session for those who have any questions. So our first question for Mr. Yap is, how the scan deploys in branches or states? Mr. Yap, feel free to answer this question.
Hi, good morning, everyone. In order to answer this, how to deploy the decentralized scan in branches or other departments in other states, normally Docuflo will deploy the decentralized method, means each of the units in the branch will have a one tick client or team client to communicate with the copier like Canon, Toshiba, Xerox, in order to digitize their hard copy from the branches and immediately send over to the HQ, so-called data center. So all the branches digitized physical copy can be centralized in a HQ data center. Either it by ad hoc or by batches. It depends on the company infrastructure, how how sufficient the bandwidth on the current BAU means 9 to 6 p.m. So whether they are sufficient enough to transfer or transmit the physical data. It will be overcome, it will similar to the email. It's just that via the Docuflo scan, it will have a more control like throttling on the bandwidth throttling as well as the security features.
Okay, now for the next question, how to handle the physical backlog for documents?
Okay, physical backlog normally in a company they will be piled up by years. There are two ways to handle the backlog. One is using the Docuflo scan to do the physical scanning by using the production scanner. So they are doing daily process day by day by the internal staff. This is one option. Second option is to acquire the PPO vendor to perform the backlog scanning in one shot. Meaning to say, if let's say there are 10 years backlog in the company, they can choose to digitize the first 3 years or first 5 years for those active documents to be digitized in the centralized document management system first. Then the rest can train to the trainer and to the internal to perform the rest of the backlog. So there are the two options to handle the backlog processing in order to reduce the cost for the operations.
Right, we have another question here. How to migrate the assisting EDMS to your EDMS? EDMs to your EDMs.
Okay, in order to migrate the so-called existing EDMS, there are few methods. First, traditional method is we need to engage the existing vendor to output the metadata and images to the staging folder so that our service can come in and pull the metadata and images into the system. So this is one method. Second method is we don't migrate. Because some of the legacy system there is no longer have vendor to help to extract out. So what we do is we run in parallel. Docuflo EDMS can run as a BAU. For those legacy one, if there's no any method, sustain it as a backup. Backup either in virtualize it, P2V, or just maintain the hardware until it's obsolete. Jihan, I saw there are questions from the chat group.
Yes. How you manage or control those sensitive data?
Okay, before Jihan, I answer this question, I answered another question in the chat list. There's one from Injek Kamarudin. So in order to track the physical archive location from the original document, when you perform the scanning, we are always put in the index field. The index field means the value of searching. So there's one index field that you can think of is the box ID or location ID. So when all the record management send the document to the document management system, they will provide the box ID and as well as the location ID. So that when you search the document within the document management system, you're able to track your physical document locate to which location or warehouse. This is how you link the physical document from the warehouse to the soft copy document in the document management system.
Okay.
Am I
Now, we hope that if you have any follow-up questions, Mr. We shall not disclose the name of the speaker. We have more questions here. How do you manage or control those sensitive data?
Okay, in order to control those sensitive data, there are a few levels of security you can think of. One is transmission from the branches to the HQ. We use the SFTP protocol to secure the transmission. After the document being digitized in the data center, those are being encrypted using the AEX 256 for the first level of the security. Second is every document resides in the imaging repository only can able to access via our portal or the API with have integrated with the authorized and authenticated API parameters with the third party like SharePoint. The third one, you can add in additional security with your own private phrase. Means InfoConnect allow customer to put in their own private key into the encryptions, so that this repository only belongs to your dedicated company access.
Okay, there's another question here. Is the solution available to use the digital form to replace the paper form so that scanning is not required? This is to replace the legacy system with the solution of MFA or digital signature.
Repeat, Jan.
Is the solution available to use the digital form to replace the paper form so that scanning is not required? And then following that, this is to replace the legacy system with the solution of MFA or digital signature.
Okay, in order to there are two parts here. First is you are converting the hard copy to the e-form. So this is a transformation from the physical to the digital trend. It's compliant, and then it's also available in our EDMS. Means first you have a EDMS as a foundation. Second, you create the e-form to replace the physical form. All your e-form public into the internal or external can be archived into the EDMS. Okay, this one way. Second, your second question is digital signature. The digital signature depends on which industry. Some industry, they still need the hard copy as a signature to be used for in legal. Some using the digital signature like the certificate or DocuSign kind of method to store the signature into an e-form document. It can be also converted to the PDF and resized in the repository. So this is a second method to handle the digital sign. It's also subject to what is the process for the signing as well as the archiving.
Shall we take another one or two questions?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, question. How to integrate third-party systems like customer portal or SharePoint?
Okay, in order to integrate with the third-party system like SharePoint, OpenText, or others web-based applications, the common and common protocol or methodology we use is using the API. Means the web services or RESTful from our Docuflo EDMS, we provide the enterprise API to allow multiple channels to communicate in order to pull the images, to download the images, to view the images from the portals or from the third-party applications. So API is the channel to bridge between the Docuflo EDMS as well as the third-party applications.
I think you have a question in the chat box.
There's one question is, can we use the digital signature form PDF file upload not via scanner? Yes. If you're using the PDF forms, they always have a bridge for calling the API. So when you fill up the fillable PDF, so when you do perform the submit, you can call our API to immediately upload the document into our document management system, rather than you print out via the scanner and upload. It will save your processing time. Irregardless is digital signature form or other fillable PDF form, it can be done. Another method that you can think of is using the barcode. In the PDF, you can create the 2D barcode. So in order to do that, so all the indexes in the PDF we can capture and then automatically index during the processing. Hope I answer your questions.
Okay, so there's one follow-up question. I think we'll take one last question. Any open API provided?
Our API is considered open API because we do teach the partner or customer build their own API. Meaning to say, we provide a standard API with code level. Then customer or partners can use the API to do their own modification. Of course, the core services we will still control. So APIs function like search, upload, download, login, and then versioning. Those are the open API to the customer.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yap.
Thank you, Jihan.
Yeah. And thank you to all the attendees who asked questions. Now I will be passing the stage to Hui Mei.
Thank you, Jihan. Also, thank you to Joycelyn and also Mr. Yap for the very engaging session. So now we'd like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Poon Wai Siang, Chief Technology Officer at InfoConnect, to give you a preview of our upcoming Docuflo V7. Let us welcome Poon.
Hi, morning. You can hear me?
Yes.
Hi, can see the screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to run through the product roadmap. What's up with Docuflo for 2021. Okay, the few things that I'm going to highlight here are the key things to note, means the considerations that we are taking for developing this new version of Docuflo. What are we talking about? What's new? Just showcase some of the screens that we have in the new version. What to expect next means the roadmap, the steering our roadmap, and how do we get there. Okay, key things to note. Clients are shifting their expectations towards ease of adoption and collaboration, meaning more collaboration of documents online due to COVID-19. And this COVID-19 is a hell. And then the intelligence maturing, driven by content intelligence and security intelligence. Increasing focus on total experience means we are looking into the UI UX for this development. Highlight on systems ability to respond and evolve as market dynamics change means having our system to be deployable in both on-prem and on cloud. And importance of having completeness of vision as part of our roadmap strategy. The three key themes of Docuflo V7 are, we want to enrich the user experience. What we are looking at here is providing our users with a familiar interface, which is easy to use. So in time, for those who are upgrading the new version, you will face less challenges in terms of change management. The second is we want to level up productivity. We want to ease the use of the system. Less clicks. Those major features or functions will be available on screen. And effective collaboration, omni-channel access. We are looking at having people to access Docuflo from various channels, be it from your notebook or your handphone, whichever works here. Okay, what's new in general? We have a responsive UI UX design. So it's browser-based and it can fit on both your notebook or your handphone screens. It's compatible with major browsers covering Microsoft Edge, Chrome, Firefox. And it is cloud ready. We can actually deploy it to any existing data centers. The development work is built on .NET Framework 4.7.1. This is one of the latest framework, and can be run on Windows Server 2016 and SQL Server 2016 and above. Okay, so what's new? So this is our Docuflo mobile. Is currently in the pipeline. We are developing a mobile version of Docuflo. Most of the major functions for your document handling is available in this mobile application. The mobile application is available for both Android and iOS. Okay. So what's new? New features and enhancements we are looking at. This is actually, we are developing the new version of Docuflo Web. This Docuflo Web also will come in together with the web admin. It is multi-language, so you can actually do a selection of the language at the screen below here. And then multi-file selection, you can select multiple files to perform actions such as download, moving files, and delete files. Locking and unlock of files, you can actually secure your files while you are editing. There will also be a favorite folder for documents which require, you need to highlight or you need to look at it quickly. You can put it as a favorite. Okay, we also have a native web viewer. A trash bin, this is similar to your Windows recycle bin, where you can actually do a deletion of your document and it will be soft deleted in the trash bin. And you can do a permanent delete to clear it up from your repository directly. On top of that, we also have a comment feature where you can actually put in some comments on a particular document. It is sort of a discussion thread where you can actually put in comments, people can reply on top of it. And then we also have a file sharing feature. So documents which you require to share to other users, you can share via link. Once you share via link, you'll provide you with a URL. The file will be available for a certain time period in a server, or you can share it via email. And also a quick dashboard for you to check the current health status of your repository. In terms of security, we have upgraded our encryption component to use AES 256 64-bit. Previously, it was 32-bit. So by converting it to 64-bit, we are looking at better performance and better security when it comes to encrypting the particular document. As what I mentioned just now, we have actually used .NET Framework 4.7.1, which supports the latest TLS so far, TLS 1.2, which is actually the security requirements currently. And also we will have, make available both protocols, API protocols, SOAP and RESTful protocols for you to integrate to your external applications. Okay, what to expect next? Other than the Docuflo V7, we are also in the midst of developing a workflow component. This is actually an extension. In our existing Docuflow, there's a document routing feature. So all the features within the document routing will be in this workflow, plus a few more additional functions. We're going to enhance this. Unlimited levels of escalation, provide visibility, and is suitable for more simple workflows, such as claim processing and document review. Means it's a point-to-point workflow. Second thing we are looking at is we are currently developing is actually the secure data room. So within Docuflow, we are looking at creating data room for you to perform document collaboration. This secure data room can be used for your project discussion, or if you are having any departmental discussion, you can actually create a secure data room where you can actually collaborate or share document to all the participants within this data room. Okay, from those items, these are the timeline that we are looking at. How do we get there? Docuflow V7 is expected to be out by Q2, June 2021. Subsequently, during August, we are going to roll out the rest of the items, which is the Docuflow Mobile for both Android and iOS. We are doing a single platform development for both devices. Docuflo V7, the add-on secure data room, which what I mentioned just now, as well as the workflow. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thanks, Poon, for the great speech. Currently, we have a few questions for you. Hold on, let me just go through the questions. Okay. Okay, I have a question here. How frequent is the product release in major and minor?
For minor releases, we are looking at having twice a year. Minor releases will include all the security patches and all. And for major release, we are planning it to have it once every 2 years. That means we are looking for major release. We are looking at a facelift, adding new functions and features or enhancement to it.
Okay. Okay, another question. How does the system deploy in a cloud environment?
The system deploy is just similar to the current implementation on-prem. So it also depends on the data center that we are going to deploy to, whether we are going to log into their SSO or AD, which is different from data center to data center. This can also be done because we are able to integrate to the API provided by these AD providers.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. Next question, can the features be customized?
So for customization, we are looking at, we need to consider whether the customization fits in our roadmap. For customer specific customization, we will also cater, but in a way, we will plan it to make it a general customization for all to use.
Okay. Okay, the next question. If we acquire the system or upgrade from existing, will the system be compatible?
For older version of Docuflo, we have actually developed the migration program to migrate the data from your previous version to your new version. But it also depends customer by customer. Some customers are having what call it enhancement or customization, which we will need to go into do a study before we do that. But for standard product, we do have a migration program to migrate this up. Of course, you have to go through all the different environment for testing, no? SIT, UAT, and strict, and then next is production deployment.
Okay, understand. Okay. Probably one last question I have on my hand here. Can the system be deployed in like Ali Cloud or Azure? Yep.
The answer is yes. We have actually tested in Ali Cloud as well as AWS. These are the main data center providers. Other than that, we also have tested on our local data center, which is not a problem.
Okay. Okay, we have another question here in the Q&A box. The attendee is asking if Docuflo mobile a native app, and how does it authenticate with SSO or AD on premise?
The Docuflo mobile is on a native app. Means you need to download. In terms of authentication, we will authenticate same as what we do on-prem. We will be calling the API provided by your AD for authentication purpose only.
Okay, I hope this answers the question. If you have any follow-up questions, you can just type it in the same Q&A box. I think, okay, I think that's all of the questions we have for the moment. We have some time before the next session. Probably we will have a short break, and then we will come back at 5 minutes later at 11:05.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you back in a short while.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a good break. And thank you to our previous speakers. Thank you to Foon for giving us a better insight on Docuflow V7. And thank you, Hueme, for helping out with the questions. Next, we're going to have a speaker talking about information content management for government, or ICM for Gov. Without further ado, let us welcome our solution consultant here at InfoConnect, Nur Azrina Azib. The floor is yours. Nur Azrina Azib, the floor is yours. I think you are still muted, Azrina. You have to unmute your mic.
Hello, hi. Okay. Can you hear me, Jan?
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Today, I will be sharing about the ICM for Government Information Content Management Solution for Government. Okay, so this is the public sector ICT framework, which we talking about government framework for 2016 until 2020.
Hi, Azrina, I think you are supposed to share your screen. Things not shared yet.
Okay, can you see my screen, Hume? Sorry for just now.
Yes, all good now.
Okay, okay. Allow me to go back to my earlier screen. Okay, so today I will be sharing with the audience on the ICM for government. This is about the information content management solution for government sector. Okay, so this is a public sector ICT framework which talking about government framework for 2016 until 2020. Basically, what we are focusing here is on the digital document, digital government. ICT vision on your left hand side here, as you can see, this the ICT vision that direct set by government. Our focus is to provide end-to-end solution to enable digital government in terms of content of the information. Okay, so now current public sector for landscape. We are talking about current public sector landscape in government. As we can see here, this is very much translated into different area, which are people, process, and technology. So this is part of the process that will be scoped under public sector landscape. And our solution will be work around these three areas. Okay, what is the ECM? So ECM in context of our digital government solution is the strategy or method and tool which is used to capture, manage, store, and deliver content and document related to organizational processes. So, okay, our focus today will be information governance in sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. So, what is ECM in our sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu? I will be sharing in the details in my next slide. Okay, so we have for the ECM component, we have five components, which is these five components are derived from for the sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. So first is capturing, where this information will be captured from paper document into electronic format. And managing component, all the electronic format will be managed in the system based on the indexing or information stored. And storing component is frequently used to change the information in the system to allow user or to provide user with more informational benefit. After that, we will be preserve the the document, the information, and this preserving will be based on the retention period and the record of the information. After that, the last component is deliver. The delivering component here provide access to the user with the access right that we can assign in the system. Okay, next is government framework. So for government framework here, we are designed to suit with the ICM for the government. On top here, the 5 tab here that we can see is what our government would like to achieve. So our government would like to have enhanced service delivery, enhanced capacity, enhanced performance, connected government, and sustainability. So with this, we come up with ICM for government. So for the ICM for government that we offer, we have 7 pillars here. Okay, first is Docuflo capture, Docuflo content management, record management system, integrated office management, material registration system. All these 5 pillars are grouped and routing for the sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. Under sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu, these 5 modules integrated and can be used along the process. We also offer business intelligence analytic that will be shared by my colleague later on, and also enterprise knowledge management. Okay, and all of these solution also are ready for any integration with existing or any core system that currently used in the agencies. Okay, here sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. From the previous slide that we are sharing that we have a component, and here I will derive it into 2 main component, which is general document and also functional classified document based on Arkib Negara Malaysia compliance. So general document is the information that be stored into Docuflo ECM. And for classified document, we have 2 type of or 2 category of document where functional and non-functional document. This will be stored in our Docuflo IOM, and the file and the record can be stored into Docuflo MRS and RMS. These both of the component are integrated to each other, and all this whole solution can be integrated into other system or core system in which currently used in the agency. Okay, next I will be showing on the document classification code. So for the document classification code, we have 100 until 600 classification code as per given by Arkib Negara Malaysia. This is based on Arkib compliant. Okay, classification code for 100 to 500 fall under functional document, and classification code for 600 and above fall under non-functional document. This category can be defined based on the agencies or the business, then department of the organization itself. Okay. Alright, under sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu, we have three main module, which is Docuflo IOM, MRS, and RMS. Okay, first, I will be sharing about Integrated Office Management, Docuflo IOM. Okay, these are the high level of the Integrated Office Management. So for the classified document, the one I said earlier for the functional and non-functional document, and also the general document will be kept and upload into IOM. This is the flow of active and inactive document digitization. Okay, for non-active document, PTJ will scan and record or upload the information about the document before it's stored to Arkib. This non-active document usually are not required to have any correspondence or reply from any other department or business unit. Okay, for the active document, usually like memo, circular, minutes, later, this document usually require correspondence from department head or other department or business unit. Okay, once it is input into the system, it will be route to department head for any correspondence, and after that it will be stored into the system. Okay, now I will sharing with you some of the screenshot from our IOM system. Okay, on your left hand side here, as you can see, there are a category for the functional and non-functional document that come with a classification code from 100 to 600. So this category can be categorized, can be predefined, preset by the system itself. Okay, and here the reference number can be auto-generated by the system. Okay, this is the main page of the Docuflo IOM, whereby the PTJ, the officer, can create or register the reference number for the document and send upload it into the system. Okay, I further zoom out into the left hand side, whereby we have a user can have a task list view for in order for them to check on the information or the document. Okay, here we have a pending, a complete, and for active document, we have new, reviewed, and also list of cancellation. Okay, the reference number that have been registered into the system, which is auto-generated by the system, will be shown on the top right of the document viewer here. So this is to avoid any, for the security purpose, to avoid any duplication of the number of the document. Okay, so for active document, that require correspondence from the department head, the document that route to department head will also be sent together with the email notification to the department head or other department for their feedback or for their response. Okay, these are the sample of the email notification where we will be received by the supervisor or department head. Okay, the document that have been verified and are ready to be uploaded into system will be ready for the next step. Okay, before it is uploaded into the system, system will prompt a message to the user in order for user to double check on the reference number. This is to avoid any human error. In case the reference number is not correct, so it can be revert back for any correction. Okay, these are document list that available to the user with the specific access right. So for as we can see here, there are two color we use for the document list. The red one is the outgoing document. This document will need to be sent out for any correspondent for or any response from others. And then for the blue line document is the one that incoming document. Okay, on your right hand side also we have option for user to view the document list based on their preferences on the selection. Okay, and the unique feature that we have here is where we also have the watermark. So for the document for that have been cancelled, the document will be shown as document ini dibatalkan. And for active document or document that used in the system, it will be it will showing the watermark for based on the agency. Okay, another feature here that available in our IOM is search function. We come up with a few options for search function where we have advanced search, simplified search type for simplified search, and also search based on the profile. Okay. Next, I'll be sharing about Docuflo Material Registration System, Docuflo MRS. Okay, these are the flow, the high-level flow of Docuflo Material Registration System. This solution is for the PTJ to record the movement of the file from the agency to the archive. Okay, so what is MRS? Docuflo MRS, we record the process, the transfer process of physical folder from pusat tanggungjawab to the archive. Okay, all the registration of the folder will be managed in this system, and the record can be transferred and can be searched or retrieved for future use. Okay, these are some the sample for our record Docuflo MRS. So new material comes in will be recorded based on the file number, staff name, and staff email. So all this information will be kept in the system in for user to trace it back for the future use. Okay, and once the information had been stored, the validation of the information will make sure the document are in the correct position. Okay, next, I will be sharing on the Docuflo RMS, which is Record Management System. Okay, these are the high level of the flow for Docuflo Record Management System. So, Record Management System is a solution that we offer to track the physical file that register into the system and send to archive. So this system will help PTJ officers to track the transition process. Okay, what is Docuflo Record Management System? It is a systematic control of the organization record or file. So it will allow user to perform the task, which is to register the information of the file and to search for the record. Sharing you some of the print screen, some of the screen for our Docuflo RMS. Okay, so this is the main page for our record management system. Here we'll have a category 5 plan, retention format of the file. Is it in the CD format or is it in the file format? And the location lookup. Also, it can also manage the archiving of the file. How long will we keep in the archive? Okay, the file, the record will be stored based on the classification, the location, the access right, and disposition plan on how long this file will be stored in the system. Okay, and for the searching, after the record, once the record, the file have been keep in archive and the information keep in the system, user or any officer or PTJ with the correct access right can use this system to search for the record for the file. This will be easier even though both parties are not located within the same building, so they still can search. And retrieving any file that have been sent or keep in the archive can also, the information of the file can be retrieved from Docuflo RMS. Okay, so this is how it's look like for the search and retrieval. So, okay, as a summary, I'll be showing with you the total integration of sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. Okay, this is the total integrated of all the module for sistem pengurusan arkib bersepadu. As we can see here, the ECM or IOM is the main component where it can be integrated with Docuflo MRS and Docuflo RMS. The whole process here can be managed and can be used to manage the record the information with more benefit and informative about the record. Okay. Next, I will be sharing a few case study from our existing client. Okay, first, University Malaysia Kelantan. So for UMK, we have implemented Docuflo EDMS solution from phase 1 to phase 3 for the whole university. As currently we already have 70 PTJs that have been using this our Docuflo IOM and Docuflo capture system. For University Malaysia Kelantan, they are currently using on the enterprise level. So all their record, all their document will be scanned into digital document, and this digital document will be managed by the PTJ from the system. Any correspondent, any active document that require for correspondent or feedback from department head or other department will be routed to the designated department head and or any other unit PTJ from the system, and they can also reply or respond back via the system for any response that required. Okay, next is Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia SSM. So as we know, SSM is where the agency that had this is the agency that handle the business registration and company registration. Our Docuflow have been using through all or nationwide for all SSM branch in Malaysia. So the solution that we have implemented is Docuflow Enterprise, Document Management System, Capture Solution, and integrate with their core module in the agency. They are also using our system in the enterprise level. Okay, next is Jabatan Pendaftaran Malaysia, JPN. So JPN, they are using our EDMS solution to archive all type of form related to our data, which such as identity card, birth, marriage, citizenship, and so on. So our Docuflow internal work group scanning will be capture all this form to be stored and archived into our Docuflow EDMS solution. So these are mainly implemented in the JPN HQ at Putrajaya. So they are using our solution on the enterprise level, where they have enterprise document management system and enterprise workflow system, and also the capture system. Okay, I think with that, I end my presentation today, and thank you everyone for joining our session today. And we move to Q&A session. For Q&A session, my colleague Michael will be helping you with more further information that you require, that you need to ask for. Okay, I think thank you.
Thank you very much, Azrina. And now we'll welcome Michael Tan, our VP of Sales. In order to answer any questions that you have, feel free to type in your questions in the Q&A tab in the bottom. Or if you'd like to speak out loud, just type in the chat, and we will give you the permission to speak through the settings. If you feel like asking any questions, please type in the Q&A tab. Now we'd like to welcome Michael Tan, the VP of Sales.
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning to everyone. Okay, yeah. thanks for joining our session. Okay, basically, any question, just to post. I think there's one question from our, what we call, there's a question from our guest earlier, talking about the, what we call, asking about the workflow separate module from what has been presented on the document routing. Okay, so for that particular part, okay, our routing are actually a process that is inbuilt into our what we call integrated office management module, specifically for the document classifications approval process. So it's a different from our standard routing. The standard routing will be part of our standard ECM solution. I hope that answer the first question.
Hi, Michael. There's one question in the chat box from A. Kamarudin Yusuf. Is there any mandatory requirement for government agencies to archive their records currently?
Okay, in accordance to Akib Negara, what we call compliance, before there is no what we call there's no, how do I put it? Let me get the right words. There's no must an agency must do, but in order for an agency to comply with the record keeping, okay, they have to be, they have to apply and audited by Akib Negara before they can start the process of document classifications. It's not a must today, but I think there are agency starting to do, especially for the documents like minutes, circular, letter, correspondence. These are the documents that government has actually started with an initiative, or Akib with Mampu have started with the initiative to archive this document with classifications. So for the non-functional one, if you remember, my colleague Azrina mentioned earlier, for the non-functional documents or records, that will be very depends on an agency, or a particular agency themselves. So it's very depend. But all these have to be audited and vetted by Akib Negara as per the last, what we call, compliance. I hope this answer Encik Kamarudin question.
I think we can take just one or two more questions. Can this solution apply to any government agencies, and how to manage the physical file keeping?
Okay, as per, I think this be pretty related to what Encik Kamarudin questioned earlier. Okay, as long as the agency, okay, as long as the agency documents or the files are being vetted, the process are being vetted by Akib Negara Malaysia, then this solution can be applied. This module can be applied. Otherwise, all these what we call documents or record will not, will not be able to, what we call, will not be able to classify, as until Akib has endorsed it, endorsed and vetted it.
All right. Thank you, Michael, for helping us answer these questions, and thank you to the audience for asking us these questions. If you have any further questions, please feel free to type it out in the Q&A tab or ask us in the chat. Thank you, Michael. Oh, you have one more question in the chat.
Okay, what is RMS registration process? System supported barcode, QR code. Yes, for the record management system, okay, for the physical files, you can basically integrate with a barcode or even RFID. That will be, very depends on any of the third party RFID or barcode solution that that you can think of. We can integrate with it.
There is also one question for you in the chat box. For classification, is it purposely for government agencies that ready with classification only? How about private, which want to do the same?
Okay, thank you for this. What for private currently there is no what we call regulation, okay, from the government, okay, on this one, but they can do their own sort of classifications. You know, they can create their own classifications as their, you know, as their organization or their departments. So for this will solely meant for government or GLC that, you know, that has to be endorsed by the authorities.
All right, I think so. That's all the questions for now. Thank you, Michael, for helping us answer these questions.
Thank you.
Okay, now I shall pass the stage to Hui Mei to carry on the show. The floor is yours, Hui Mei.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Azrina, for introducing us to ICM for Gulf. Our next speaker is one who has been with us at InfoConnect for more than 15 years, a very experienced technology and solutions marketer. His passion is in technologies that enable businesses to grow and reach a wider market. On top of that, he has had extensive involvement in all levels of relationship building, product development, and business development. Bringing you the topic on extended ECM solutions, let's welcome Country Manager of PT InfoConnect in Solusi, Indonesia, Andy Pan.
Okay, thank you, Hui Mei. Before that, selamat siang bapak-bapak and ibu-ibu sekalian. Greetings all the way from Jakarta. I have been here in Jakarta actually, yeah, stuck here for I think 12 months already, from a Chinese New Year to another Chinese New Year. All right, I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy everywhere in the world now. Okay, first, thanks for being with us from the beginning until now. I think in Malaysia now, we are already almost touching lunchtime, right? Being the last speaker in the event is always a rush, right? So I will make it very brief. The presentation that I will want to bring you today. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Okay, share this. Okay, so today I will bring you the. In the morning, we have heard from Mr. Lim, how are we as InfoConnect going into 2021, bringing new solutions, about new footprint. And also from Joyce, how are we going to tackle on working from home, working from office, hybrid, and also Pone, so many information about new products, new features coming into Docuflo 2021. And also Azrina helping the government to tackle this pandemic with innovative solutions. And my session is to talk a little bit outside from Docuflo, all right? And also bring you back on what is InfoConnect actually focusing on the information and content management solution. Yeah, so before I go into the solution itself, let's take a look at what is information and content management actually. If you Google around, you will see that information and content management organizes, integrates, and protects data and contents as it flows through business process across and outside organization. Now, and then also you search further, what advantages is bring actually. With information and content management, organization can simply and securely capture and govern and exchange information to use it to its full potential. Now, the word full potential, before pandemic, maybe we say, okay, we still have the information lying around in offices and here and there, and we can get people to look for information. Now, during the pandemic, all these things that we need information around. So how are we going to find those information? And we are working from home now. Nobody are allowed to go to the offices during MCO. So how are we going to do information sharing to its full potential? Now, this ICM has become a very important subject rather during this pandemic, and pushes all the implementation of digital transformation to the max, to the fastest speed up, right? So rather the organization which is having said, okay, we can slowly implement this, but now during the pandemic or the after pandemic, what are we looking for? How are we going to implement all these things? Yeah. So if you look at the advantages of the ICM we bring is, other than just capturing information, right, there will be some form of powerful analytics and automation. All right, information comes in. How are we going to analyze it and eliminate all those data silos? Data silos is like, I already have document management system, but implemented only into finance department or into the operation department. What happens to the other department, right? And I have contents inside the file server. I have contents inside the emails, the website. All right. So how are we going to integrate all this data into one consolidated view for us to look at information, and how do we process it, right? And then how do we discover new efficiency and insight, right? While moving more workloads to the cloud, right? How are we going to enable our staff, our workforce to work hybrid? Some are in office, some are in the home, right? So how are we going to allow all this infra to let them access to information, and of course with security in it, all right? And then how are we going to simplify digital transformation? How are we going to do it fast? Through delivering the ROI with confidence using proven methods already used by a lot of organizations, right? Now, so what information and content management manages is the knowledge resources, right? So how are we going to put all these resources or knowledge into one silos of repository or multiple, right? So whenever we need that kind of knowledge, we can find it. And then of course, content structure. So how are we going to structure all those content, like what we have shown by Asrina? Government content, all this must be classified. All those are the content structure we must put it in, right? It's not that we dump everything into a file sharing folder and then, oh, we already digital transform our organization, because by dumping all the soft copy document into one file server, but there's no structure into it. So, and then how are we going to organize business process, right? By putting in a structured business process and let it run, right, at the back. And also, how are we collaborate? Like Joyce has presented, how are we going to collaborate during this pandemic? Is very useful and very urgent now, right? Without collaboration, everything's like moving a step back, so slow, right? So information for collaboration, storage, how are we going to do that? And classification of data, how are we classify the data? And of course, when you classify the data properly, you can easily find information. Finding information is actually an art now. It is not that you dump into a storage or silos, you search, you can find, yeah, but relevant data. And how are you going to overcoming the content of bottleneck? how the content coming in, but it's not being able to be shared or not being able to be searched at this moment. Yeah, well, those are the bottleneck that the ICM can actually manage. Okay, before going into further, I would like to share with you one survey done by IDC. Yeah, last year during the pandemic, IDC actually done a survey with some of the CIOs from all the organization. What they have done is they have done a survey with all these CIOs and get their feedback on what is their current trend for 2021 and what are they going to do with the pandemic is happening, and this will not be going away for the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah. So what their plan for 2021, and amazingly, they have come up with 10 focus points for 2021. And most of the target is to, you can see this statement over here, the last statement, a large percentage of future enterprises revenue depends upon the responsiveness, yeah, and scalability and resiliency of its infrastructure, application and data resources, right? This is becoming very important. So that's why they come up with this 10 trend. The first one is, of course, going to the cloud. Everyone are now wanted to quickly moving to the cloud so that their applications, their business application, their core system can be accessed from working from home, working from office, and can be deployed faster than before, right? And then also they are focusing on H becomes a top priority, change of workforce and operation, hybrid workforce. Some working from home, some working from the offices, right? And then of course, the third one is the digital workplace. Now, if someone working from home and the offices, if they don't have a digital platform for them to carry out their work, right? For example, some documents need to be shared, some contents need to be searched somewhere from the organization. Now, these are the digital workplace where they can actually have communication, collaboration that will help them through this pandemic and help them to work through things up. And of course, the solution that helps speed to market. They are looking for development tools so that they can start to develop or change their marketing plan or change their product to help them to speed to market, or analytics that can help them to give them information from the market to respond, those kind of things. And also resiliency is the center of next normal. How are they going to adapt to changes? And those are the top 5 that you can see that there are so many opportunities that IT company must come out with innovative solution to help to tackle these bad times. Yeah. Okay, back to InfoConnect. InfoConnect have been promoting our ICM solutions way back to 10 to 15 to 20 years. Yeah, started off with we actually have the document and data capture, right? That document and data capture that we have to eliminate all those data entry, form processing, right? Then we also have business process management workflow engine, and we also build application on top of it. For example, we have the insurance underwriting system, claim system, and also now we are also involved into decision engine. Decision engine where we can help to build or move all those formulas, all those codes out from the development of the program into an engine where we can go to the market faster by creating codes outside the development life cycle. And of course, we have the document management system and also the records management system. and also output management system where we actually helps the banks, insurance, and others industry where they are creating a lot of documents through their core system, and then we help them to distribute to their audience, and also we help them to archive. And now, of course, we also have the business analytics and also the business intelligence. This is what InfoConnect is doing all the while. All right, and then today I will let you know that what we are doing internally. Enterprise search. Today I would like to let you know about this enterprise search. Enterprise search is nothing new in the market actually, but because of the coronavirus or COVID-19, it actually become very powerful and also very urgent now. That why people are looking into enterprise search now, right? So let's look into our status of today's business information first. Recap on all this. Okay, our information actually 15% are structured. Okay, we have our accounting system, we have our core system, HR system, financial system. Whenever we require reports, we just click and then the data is there, all right? And we can search them easily through individual system. Yeah. And of course, 85% are unstructured information. Those come from our hard copy documents, forms, reports, audio, blueprint, photos, email, web pages, and no more facts. Yeah. Okay, those 85% unstructured information actually is the potential risk that we cannot find those information when we require them. All right. So because of the pandemic, we still can access to our core system. We still can access to our financial system, right? Through VPN, through cloud. But what happens to file server? What happens to the hard copy documents? What happens to the web pages that we need to access? Okay, so by having an engine that can help you to search the information into all these different silos, it actually helps you to discover information or contents faster. For example, we have one case in Indonesia, one of the government division, and on Saturday night, the whole building, half of the building burned out. And then they reported that, oh, okay, everything is safe. No content or no documents being burned, but the actual fact is they don't know that what is being burned itself. Because some documents lying around is not being documented or not being registered. All those are the information lying around that nobody knows, right? So when the building burned down, information lost. Those are the potential risks, right? So COVID, what has it impacted us? Before we actually send, receive hard copy documents, file in document into folders, store into file servers. During then we use the emails as a mean of document sharing, right? Staff take important document now. This is happening. Staff taking important documents back because of working from home, and those important documents are taking back, piling up in their home, and then they bring it back to offices. And of course, we also send documents through emails, and emails getting full, thousands of emails they need to access. Documents are being leaked out through emails, right? Those are happening now, right? How are we going to secure all this information? What happened next? Yeah, we don't know, right? So the high cost of not finding information is very high. IDC also did a research that 76% of company executives consider information to be mission critical, right? And their company most important asset. So where they store it, how they store it, how they can search the document, right? 60% felt that time constraint. This is the thing that people are spending a lot of time just to find a piece of information to act on it. So common challenges faced by many companies are required information sits in multiple silos, right? And not able to consolidate one on time due to different approving authority, right? So different users have different access to information, different silos. How are they going to consolidate all this information? No holistic presentation of required information. And also many steps, long duration and differing approving authorities to assess and compile the required information. And also information collected are timestamped differently and incomplete, resulting in inaccurate data for decision making. And so the last one is increase in business risk. We cannot act on it, so that it actually doesn't help us to process things faster. Now, enterprise search is actually very simple. The practice of identifying and enabling specific content across the enterprise to be indexed, searched, and displayed to authorized users. These are the few keywords that are very important to deploy enterprise search. So content without access is worthless, like what we have all those challenges. Enterprise search is how your organization helps people to seek information they need from anywhere, in any format, from anywhere inside their company, right? As long as you define and connect to the connector in databases, document management system, and on paper if they are scanned or digitized, yeah, wherever. Okay, so search is not just a search anymore, right? It's actually an art and science of making content easy to find. So what we have is, let's say we have our enterprise system, and also we have implemented document management system in certain departments, for example, finance, sales, or in the HR, right? So Docuflo is there. And then also we have our internet website, and also our employee desktop, notebooks, file servers, network drive. So these are all where our data and document reside in the organization. So what we do is we use enterprise search to bridge the gap between all this content within these systems and database. Right? What we do is we have the connectors, our document management system connectors, where we actually connect to the our Docuflo database. And also we have the web crawler connectors. You define the website that you want to find information. We actually crawl into a different level. And also we can define the file server using the file server connector. So we can actually put the file server access, and we connect to those file sharing folder, so that allow the users to access to information. Because we have a few cases from prospect where they have the document management system, right? Which they only implement into finance, implement into HR. But the project, which have a lot of documents in there, resides in the file server, right? So how are they going to relate the finance document to the project? How are they going to search the project document? Are they going to use the file server searching method to search for the information they require? So what they do is, we can actually implement this enterprise search with multiple connectors. I can crawl into the document management system to find the invoice number, for example, or the project name. And also I can crawl into the file server and find for the projects related to my search. For example, this search screen here shows that the consolidation of, when I search for the word, one keyword for Docuflo, it actually goes to the file server to look for the information, the files that have the word Docuflo, content search. And also they go to the Docuflo DMS and look for the Docuflo word that have this content. And actually lets the user see, oh, there are some contents here in the file server, some contents in the document management system they can refer to. Then of course we have some advanced search that you can include all these words in there, exact word or phrase, or none of these words. All those are the most commonly used advanced search features. But we also include that the stemming search capability into our solution. For example, we are looking for the word walk. All right, walk is jalan, walk in English. So the system also used the stemming search methodology to look for the word similar to the word walk. For example, walking, the action of walking, walk, right? So it actually give you more chances of finding your documents, the documents related to what you are finding. So we have the stemming search. We also put in the fuzzy search, where we include this technology in there because that sometimes we have misspell some spelling through our search, right? If you look for the word Smith, maybe the word Smith, S-M-I-T-H, spelled differently in the documents, right? So fuzzy search allows you to search for those documents are relevant to you because of typo that you can't find in your query, right? For example, I'm looking for the word walk. The system also give me the relevant search of walk through. Maybe you are looking for the word walk through, right? So fuzzy search is very important. And of course, in the future, we are going to put in thesaurus in there as well. And also NLP, right? So those are the things, some other features that we're going to include in the futures. And of course, we have the dashboard. We have a dashboard for the user, for what kind of information they have searched, what kind of keyword, they can reuse it again, right? And lastly, those are some of the benefits that if we implement the enterprise search in our organization. We provide the connectors, right? Connect to all the repositories that are defined, and it actually provides us a consolidated view within and outside the enterprise. Yeah, and of course, more precision in decision making, access to data quickly. So I access to financial information. I can also access to some of the project information from the file server, and also I can access some information from the website. So it actually gives me a consolidated view and help me to make more decision faster. And of course, it will actually boost the employee productivity. If information that required actually save them time and efforts for searching of those information. Yeah. Okay, those are the briefly on what we are doing for the enterprise search. And thank you for listening to me. And now I'm opening for the questions, Q&A. Back to you, Jihan. Stop.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy, for that mind-opening speech. So now we will be opening the floor to our attendees to ask any questions. If you have any questions, please type it in the Q&A tab, or you can even type it in the chat box, and Andy will be happy to answer your questions.
Oh, maybe everyone leave for early lunch already.
It would seem like it.
Yeah, anyway, if you still have a questions, and you still can drop us an email, right? You still can drop us an email, and then we will respond. Or if you require a demo, we can actually set a session that we can show you how the whole system works. Yeah. Yeah, there are some friends saying hi, hi. Long time no see. Yeah. Yeah, because of technology, because of I think COVID helps a lot in pushing a lot of technologies through, that we still can communicate and contact each other using con call, using webinars now. Yeah. Okay, I believe there's no questions. Maybe if there's question, just drop us an email. I pass it back to Hui Mei or Jihan.
Right. Thank you very much, Andy. We have now reached the end